So in this Zoom call, I wasn't it. Listen to this. If this doesn't push you over the edge, then nothing will. Coach Greg, and I'm here to talk to you about what's going on in the CrossFit world. Major, extremely huge news in the CrossFit world. Glassman has stepped down as the CEO of CrossFit because of all the horrible things he's been saying. This all relates to the death of George Floyd and comments that he made, jokes that he made, horrible jokes that weren't funny, and the backlash that was received because of this. He's stepped down, and I'm going to go into details about exactly what happened. Those of you who don't know, CrossFit is a huge fitness company. It's basically the biggest fitness company in the world. It's huge. People are so upset that everyone is withdrawing from it. It's like, no, we do not support this, especially right now with what's going on. Once I read the comments, you're going to agree. And if you don't, you're part of the freaking problem. A few days back on my Instagram wall, I made a post and people didn't like it. A lot of people wrote comments. Almost well over 1,000 people wrote comments. I wrote, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. No, I'm not racist. No, I'm not this. No, I'm not that. Just because I don't want to do it, that doesn't mean I'm part of the problem. Well, this is exactly what happened. In CrossFit, they speak openly about everything. Everything's a big deal. Every topic is talked about. But not racism. Not George Floyd. No, let's keep silent on that. Let's not bring it up. So leading up to what eventually broke the camel's back, the last straw, couldn't handle it no more, a lot of insensitive remarks were made. A lot of emails, a lot of posts, a lot of comments. A lot of controversy. Then we, the public, we only see in the end and we're like, well, it's only that. There's a lot of things that happened before that. When I was a school teacher and I finally sent the kid to the office, he sent me to the office for just saying this. They don't figure out the 25 different things they said leading up to that moment. So this is the same thing. So a lot of people have been saying, look, CrossFit, what are you going to do about this? Other people have been saying things. Zwift was writing, I race Zwift bike. They're like, oh, we're going to help out. We're going to be more diverse. We're going to hire people. We're going to do this and that. We're going to ask questions. CrossFit, what are you doing to be part of the solution? Because remember, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the freaking problem. You are. If you just turn a blind eye and say, no, racism doesn't happen. It's not existing. And you just ignore it. You're part of the problem because you're not part of the solution. So a tweet was made or something was made. It said, from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluations, they wrote, racism and discrimination are critical public health issues that demand an urgent response. Black Lives Matter. Racism is a public health issue, okay? So what was Greg Glassman's response? It's Floyd-19. That was his response, not, yes, I agree, this is an important issue we will try to address. Not anything related to like, yes, we agree, we're trying our best, we are going to do something, we agree, we see this. Do you guys watch CrossFit? Do you see a lot of diversity in CrossFit? I don't see a lot of diversity. I don't see a lot of different ethnic backgrounds, racing, running, competing at the CrossFit Games. There's some, not a lot. Why? Why not? Maybe they can do something to help promote it. Maybe they can try to make it more popular amongst different groups of people. Who knows? We don't know. At least try to do something about it. Oh, it's Floyd-19. So a CrossFit owner named Mike Young, he wrote a letter saying, I'm done with CrossFit. I'm not renewing my membership, my affiliation, whatever you want to call it. I'm not paying you $3,000 a year anymore because you guys are tone deaf and insensitive to our current national crisis. In other words, you're turning a blind eye. You don't give a shit. That's what he's saying. And even though I'll lose money because they won't see that CrossFit name, I'm doing it anyway because I want to be part of the solution. And you guys are ignoring what we want you to do. You're not trying to help at all. You're just blind eye ignoring it. Saying, oh, I'm not racist. No, I'm not. No, not me. No, I have a black friend. I'm not racist. But yet, you say all these horrible comments and say all these different things, and you think that it doesn't matter. That's the problem. So then he got invited into a Zoom call with the owner, the CEO, Greg Glassman. Yes, I get to talk to this guy that changed everything in CrossFit. We'll find out what he's going to say. What does he really think in this Zoom call? So Greg Glassman in this meeting said, I do not mourn George Floyd. He said it several times. He downplays racism in the police force. No, basically he doesn't think it's a problem. Okay? No, it's not a problem. So that's why he's being silent. Think about it. He doesn't want to speak out about it. He doesn't want to admit it's part of the problem. He doesn't want to admit that there's any kind of racial issues that's going on. He just wants to ignore it. That's why I say if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. You can't just say, it doesn't affect me. It's not me. I didn't do it. I didn't blah, blah, blah. So I'm not racist, so I can just ignore it. Because if you yourself ignore it, you're part of the problem. Don't you think Greg Glassman was part of the problem? He was so part of the problem that CrossFit gyms are freaking closing down their stores, taking the names off, and putting up new signs saying, screw CrossFit. Don't you think that's a problem when people go to that extent to not associate themselves with you? Just think of this saying. I heard this years ago. The silence is deafening. What does that mean? The silence is deafening. Because think of it. That's like an oxymoron. Silence, deafening. Do you get it? The silence is deafening. You don't speak about it. You don't talk about it. And it causes huge problems like, oh my God. It's huge. If you speak about it, yeah, you get problems too. You're dead either way. Either way, whatever you do, you don't do something, problem. Do something, problem. But guess what? If you say nothing, nothing will change. At least speak about it, at least talk about it, at least have these conversations. Okay? If you don't think there's a problem just because you yourself is not racist, that is a problem, because if you ignore everything, the silence is deafening. It's hurting people. It's not actually hurting their ears. Maybe you don't understand what a metaphor is. The silence is deafening. It's hurting people. Being quiet is hurting people. Not their ears, but their brains, their bodies, their feelings, their emotions. So in this Zoom call, I wasn't it. Listen to this. If this doesn't push you over the edge, then nothing will. In this private Zoom call, the organization was not mourning for George Floyd. The organization was not mourning for George Floyd. I don't think me or any of my staff are. Then he replied, can you tell me why I should mourn for him? Other than it's the white thing to do? He actually said that. Tell me why it's the white thing to do, the white. No, not the right thing to do, the white. No, I'm not racist. Nope, I have a black friend. But when I talk to my friends, I say, it's not the white thing to do. Are you serious? Now do you get it? Now do you understand why CrossFit gyms are friggin' shutting down the name CrossFit? Now do you know why so many gyms are saying enough is enough when enough is not enough? He then apologized. Well, if somebody murdered my parents, my brother and sister, my girlfriend, and then the next day said, I made a mistake. Sorry, made a mistake. I made a mistake. Is that enough? Would you accept that? They just murdered your child. I'm sorry. Enough is not a freaking enough. So Reebok announced they're cutting ties with CrossFit after 10 years, saying in a statement, there's been a negotiation for a new contract, but in light of recent events, we made the decision to end our partnership with CrossFit headquarters. They have to stay with their obligations at the end of 2020, but next year, nope, no more Reebok. When I think of Reebok, I think of CrossFit. And when I think of CrossFit, I think Reebok automatically. Automatically. It's like when I thought about Nike, I thought about Tiger Woods and vice versa. It's just an automatic thing that you think. No more Reebok. So what was this apology that Glassman made? Well, let me read it. I, CrossFit headquarters, and the CrossFit community will not stand for racism. I made a mistake by the words I chose yesterday. My heart is deeply saddened by the pain it has caused. I was a mistake. Not racist, but a mistake. It was not racist, but a mistake. Of course it's racist. Come on. Did you, in fact, rob the bank? Nope, I made a mistake. Are you racist? Nope, made a mistake. Does that make sense? Come on, enough is not enough. These little apologies, did he even write it? Did somebody write it for him? And you read a little paragraph, does that really do it for you? No, it doesn't. It's not enough. And that's why I made that freaking post on Instagram a few days back. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Just because you don't think you're a racist doesn't mean you're not making it worse. Doesn't mean you're not making it better. If you're not making it better, you probably are making it worse. If you're freaking watching a bunch of people get bullied, if a bunch of people are watching someone get bullied and you just stand there and watch, you're part of the problem. You didn't do nothing or say nothing, report nothing. Oh, but I was scared to do that. Well, report it. Tell somebody. Go to the police. Go to your school teacher. Tell the principal. If you do nothing, you're part of the problem. You're showing support. If you're standing there watching it, you're watching someone get bullied at school, wherever, at your job, and you do nothing. You just stand there. Well, I didn't do any bullying. I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. You're part of the problem. And if you don't believe it, then that's too bad because you're wrong. You're allowed to think you're not a part of the problem. Yeah, you're allowed to have your own opinions. You're allowed to think the way you want. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's the right opinion. Yeah, you have a different opinion than me. So let's just agree to disagree. No, let's agree that you're a moron, that you're an idiot. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you're right. We have to dare speak up, speak out. Like the people watching the bullies, they need to be able to tell the teacher, they're being bullied. I saw it happen. I don't want to say anything because they'll make fun of me too. You're part of the problem. We need to change our value system. We need to respect everyone. We need to treat each other as equals. Everyone can be a freaking circle. And it doesn't matter what color that circle is. And if you don't like a circle, you be a triangle. You can be a square. You can be a parallelogram. You be whatever you want. Okay? It's not cool to just say, it's not me. I'm not part of it. You're a part of it. Are you a freaking person on this planet? If you're a person on this planet, you're part of it. Okay? You can't just say, nope. You can't just be hidden in the woods, away from everybody, never speak to anyone. If you've spoken to anyone in your life, you're part of this planet, you're part of this earth. We need to come together, not to grow apart. We need to not be silent. We need to speak out. We need to say what we're thinking. And just because you think that you're not part of the problem, doesn't mean you're not. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFB Pro. Watch one of these 2 videos. They're educational. And until next time, I'm out.